Hi everyone, this is Jeanette with Mountain Misters. Welcome to my channel for today. Today's video I am going to be featuring the Coffee Cafe stamp set. This is a photopolymer stamp set, which means that it's clear and a lot easier to work with. And I am going to also be using the framelits that go with this. And we're going to be using Teeny Tiny Wishes. We're going to be using Early Espresso ink and Old Olive ink. We're going to be using our scoreboard and our scissors. And you're also going to need a piece of cardstock. This is Early Espresso and it's the 8.5 by 11. And now I guess you want to see what we're making, huh? Here it is. It is a little 4-pack Keuring K cup coffee holder. This is the front, this is the sides, and then the back. So I will show you what I did to accomplish this today. On my blog, which is mountainmisters.com, there will be a picture of this template that's right here. So it'll make it a little bit easier to try and recreate this project. In order to get the double like this one, you're going to have to do 2 separate little containers and then put them together. So let's get started and I'll show you what we're doing. On the 8.5, on the 11-inch side, you're going to want to score this at you're going to want to score it at 4 inches. Again, it's 6 1/4, 8 1/4, and 10 1/2. Okay. Then you're going to turn it, and on the 8.5 inch side, we are going to score at 2 inches. Make sure it's all the way up against the side here, at 2 inches and at 6 1/2 inches. And you will do this twice for the 2 different sides of the holder. So let me put that away now. And now we're going to cut this. You'll notice on this you have a longer area that's here and then a shorter area that's here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our paper snips and we're going to cut these, and we're going to cut on this line right here all the way up to that score mark, and then you'll come and you'll cut this way. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to miter this little corner just to make it fold in a little easier. Okay, we're going to do the same on the other side. I'm going to cut at that score mark. And up this way. I want to apologize for the dogs barking. They're out in the yard and I have trouble with stray cats, and they get in and around here, and then it sets my dogs up to barking and it gets rather annoying, so I apologize for that. And then on this you're going to have this bigger end here, and you're going to want to completely cut those off. So you're going to cut here to the score line and then this way all the way to that score line again. And that's going to leave you with 3 little edges here. So we'll come over and we'll take this off too, same way, all the way, and then down this way. I hope this is showing up. Okay, and so that leaves you with this for right now. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to work on these squares right here. Okay, so then we're going to take and we're going to cut these 3 little squares. We're going to cut that score line up to there, and then we're going to cut here. Okay, then only on this middle strip right here, this middle little tab, you're going to go ahead and wedge some out on both sides of it. This will take care of some of the bulk that's in there, so the box will fold neater and keep the edges straighter. And then we're going to do the same thing to this side. And then again here. And we'll miter these out. Doesn't matter how much of a wedge you take out as long as you get a wedge out. So then that leaves us with this little shape right here, which matches this right here. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to burnish these lines, and you're going to want to let me see if I can get, there's such a glare in here today from the window. That didn't make it any better. That made it even worse. Okay, that seems to be a little bit better. If this is on the dark side, I apologize. Let me try turning on my overhead light. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to burnish all of these score lines. And to do that, we will flip it over, because this side here shows your valley fold. These are your mountain folds, and you know they're the mountain folds because when you rub your finger there's a little bit of a bump. So we're going to fold all these in there. Use your bone folder to go ahead and burnish those. Okay. I'm going to show you how to just do the one, and then I'll show you how to put the finished box together. There's that. And then there's this one. This one. And then this last one right here. And then up on this corner right here, you're going to want to take a corner rounder, and I'm using this crocodile corner chomper, and I'm going to do it at the 1/4 inch. I'm just going to take a 1/4 inch off the quarters. Excuse me, I've got to go get those dogs to be quiet. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully there'll be no more barking now. So, like I was saying, you're going to want to score on all the score lines. And then what I do is fold up the box kind of just so I know which side I need to put my DSP on. And okay, so I know that this is the where my my DSP goes on this side, and I know it goes here, and I know it's gonna go here. And the reason I know that is because when it's folded up, this is my top, and this will be my side, and then this. So the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to put a strip oh wow, I can't talk today either. A strip of red liner tape on this part right here. And this is the part that's it's on the same side as where it says the 2 panels for the front DSP go. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And then the next thing I'm going to do is add the DSP. And the DSP I chose is from the paper stack that goes with the cafe bundle, and this is called Coffee Break, and they're 12 by 12 inch sheets of paper that are double-sided, and they've got some pretty cool things in there. I love this wood grainy looking one, and this one is cute. This one, this is what I'm using for this one, and then it's got the coffee beans, which I think is cute, and this is really cute. This is a designer series paper I used for the first one. Excuse me. And that's the back of it, and I made a card with this one, and I'll show you the card at the end of this video. And that's that paper. So like I said, this is the Coffee Break DSP that goes with this bundle, and you're going to need a piece that is 2 by 1 7/8. Actually, you're going to need 2 of them because they are going to go on the 2 spots that we marked, which is right here and right here. Remember, this is the side that this is actually the mountain fold side. That might be a little easier to remember, so we'll go ahead and we'll adhere those there right away so we won't get mixed up on where they go as soon as I find my tape runner. So we'll go ahead and we'll add these. This side is really cute too, so we're gonna go ahead and we'll add these right here. I think my camera might be crooked there. Okay, then we're going to add these. Just going to center them in there best you can. Okay, and then we'll add this one. We'll center that in there. Like that. And then you're going to need a piece that's 4 1/4 by 2 inches, and we're going to corner round that with that same 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch corner rounder. And then we are going to, like I said, when you bring this up like this, this is how this is going to go together. So we know that we need to place this designer sheet of paper right here. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to bring that together right here. Just like that. Okay. Then as we fold this up, I just add tape runner to right here, this one and this one, and then I'm going to fold in. Actually, we're not going to be able to do that yet. Let me get this off of here. Okay, we can't do that yet. I forgot we had to cut the holes. Okay, so on this piece that comes in right here, we need to put 2 little holes right here so we can set our K-cups in. And to do that, I'm going to bring in the Big Shot. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in the Big Shot, and we're going to go ahead and we'll cut our circles right here. And I use the layering circles because I don't have punches. And this is the one that's like 1 3/4 from rim to rim. And I pre-cut these 2 circles, and I laid them here so I could center them for the Keurig cups. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape them in place with a little bit of washi tape so they don't move. Okay, and you can do this with your Big Shot. It's there's a couple of little steps involved, but we can do it. So then I fold this one in, and I fold this tab in. Let me put a little sheet of something right here because that's going to go through and it's going to get caught. I'll just use a little bit of this plastic wrap so it'll stick to the wrap and not that. And then you can fold this in, and then I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper and I'm just going to lay it on top of that and fold this in. And what's going to happen when you put on your other plate, it'll hold that in place and it will leave a mark, but it'll minimize the mark, and it won't really matter once you put it on your project because you're going to be covering that mark with another sheet of cardstock with a designer series paper. So then basically it didn't mar it too bad. Then you'll just lift that out of there, punch it out, and we probably should have ran that through 2 times, but we'll get it out. Just going to leave it like that for now, and I'll get it out when we do this. So then I'm going to put that in there. Again, a piece of paper, tuck in, tuck in, tuck in, tuck in my top plate, and run it through, and then I'm going to run it back again. Okay, and this should pop it out a lot easier, which it did that time. Let me get this off of here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take this and we'll get the Big Shot out of the way. Okay, get this out of the way. Okay, then I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and I'll get some of that out of the way. Straighten you back up here. Okay, get my X-Acto knife or my scalpel. I'm gonna just remove the washi tape carefully. And like I said, the marks that are on this are not going to matter because we're going to cover them up. We'll very carefully remove this. Okay. And if you have a punch, it'll be so much easier on you. That's probably what I'm going to have to do, is order the punches. So I have some, but they weren't the right size. Okay. So then we'll just trim this around here neatly. Get rid of that. I'm going to get my scissors in there. If I can figure out what I did with those now. I'm sorry, just kind of, those barking dogs kind of rattled me because I hear it all day long and I'm so tired of it. So, okay, we're going to carefully replace that. Remove that. Okay, so now you have your holes for that to go into. And here's our tape runner. We'll go ahead and we'll put some more on there since we kind of made that not as sticky. Okay. And we're going to fold this up. And then I'm going to fold, I want these to go to the back, so I'm going to bring this one in first. Okay, we're going to line up those edges like that. Okay. And then I'm going to add some sticky tape right here, or the red liner tape. I'm just going to add a strip coming across the top of it. And take off my liner. And then we're going to fold this back around. Line that up, and we'll make sure these line up here, just like that. Okay, there's that one side, and then now we'll do this one. So you're going to go ahead and we'll fold that in again, line this up, and then we'll add some of the red liner tape here. And then here's your other piece that we'll fold in. And we'll fold this in. Again, lining up the edges and folding down. Now I'm going to take the sticky liner off of here. Just pull that out, tuck that in, and bring this up. And you're going to want to line these edges up as best you can. There's that one. And if you put it on the tabletop so it's flat, it might make it a little easier. And we're just going to press that in. And then if you have to, you can kind of get in there with your bone folder or your fingers. Okay, so there's our little box. And earlier I did one, and it's right here. Now on the original one, I punched a little hole right here. And you can do that, but you're going to want to punch them at the same time. And I'm not going to do that with this one. I decided I was going to go ahead and add some ribbon to this one. So I'm going to add, I'm going to just give it a little pop of blue. And I'm going to take and, let's see, maybe about, this is the new ribbon. It is Soft Sky, and it is the Classic Weave ribbon. And I cut about 7 inches of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add with some Scotch tape. I'm going to just take and add a piece this way, maybe about 1/4 of an inch in, and I'll just tape it right there in place. And then I'll bring it around and then another 1/4 of an inch in. Kind of like that. Let's see if that'll give me enough of a handle. And I think that'll give me enough of a handle. Okay. So then I'm going to take my liquid adhesive and I'm going to smear it all the way around here. And then to line these up, what I did was I just brought these together right here, lined them up, and put them together. And then up at here, got the tops even, and just going to give that a few seconds to hold. Just like that. And I think what I'm going to do on this one instead, because I was going to add individual sheets to the thing, I think I'm going to take and I'm going to add all the way across here. So let's see what that measures. That is going to measure, let's say maybe 4 and a mark over the half. So let's make it 4 1/2 by 1 7/8 and see what that does. So I'll bring this in and we'll give it a cut with a trimmer. I set at 4 1/2. So you're catching my improvisation here. Actually, let's do the 1 7/8 by 4 1/2. And I know you're screaming at me, you just cut it wrong. Maybe not. We lucked out. Okay, we lucked out. Because as I was doing that, I was like, you cut it wrong. You did it wrong. You did it wrong. Now let's see what that'll look like. And that way it'll hide that seam too. I like it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we'll add some tape runner. I'm going to really make sure I put a lot here. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and we'll add it here. Okay, it's not exactly straight, but my box kind of shifted, so I'll just trim that off a little bit. Okay. And that kind of helped that right there. It hid that seam a little bit better. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover over that one. So you can see how my thought process has changed depending on what I'm doing. And okay, actually I like that better. And then just to kind of dress this up a little bit, I'm going to add 2 little brown bows. I'm going to add one right there, one right there. I think I like that. Okay, so to do that, I will get see, blue, or I think I'll stick with the blue. And to make my bows, I kind of cheat. I use a bow it all. I used to make bows and sell them, and this actually made it a lot easier. So that's what I gravitated to, because it's just easier. And I'm not going to get into too much description on this, but I'm going to make a couple of 1-inch bows just very, very quickly. I've never tried this ribbon on this, so I'm kind of curious to see how it's going to work. So I'm just assembling my bow it all for an inch bow. And I'm only going to do two loop bow. Okay. There's that little bow. There's one. And I'm going to cut my strings while they're on here because it's a lot easier to do that. There's bow one. We'll do another one. 1, 2. This is so much quicker and easier, and I know I am not good at tying bows by hand, but I do like this way. I think it's a lot easier, and the bows come out pretty much perfect every time. And then you just have to kind of mess with them a little bit to get them straight. Oh, it's a good thing you can't see my floor down here. It's a big mess right now. Okay, so then I'm going to take some glue dots, some mini glue dots, and I'm going to add those to the back of the bow. Let me see. I'm going to add a couple of them just to make sure. Going to add those right here, like that, and then I'll get another one, a couple more, and we will add that one right here. That way it hides a little mishap I had with this box on the corner. Anyway, there's that. And there is the little K-cup holder. Now you could, if you have the layering circles, you could add the scallop circle around here. And I may do that, I don't know yet. But there's your little box. And now we're going to decorate this little box. And let me pick up some of this mess. So I'm going to pause for just a second while I do that. So now we're going to work on these elements right here. So the first thing I'm going to do is bring the big shot back in again. Right here. Okay. And then I'm going to cut my coffee cup out of Berry Vanilla. I'm just going to put that right here. I'm going to bring it this way so I have enough room to do my stamping. And then I'm going to put, this is, I think this is Soft Sky. If not, it's Pool Party. And I'm going to do this little piece here that looks corrugated, and it's that little sleeve that goes around the coffee cup so you don't burn yourself. And then I'm going to add, let's see, then I'm going to add the coffee cup lid, which is this piece right here, and it's just a scrap piece left over from when I cut down the box itself. So we'll go ahead and we'll put those right there, and I've got it on a magnetic plate, a clear plate, my paper, my die, and then my clear plate again. And my clear plates have been used a lot, and I'm just going to go back through again just to make sure that they go through. Okay, and then I'm going to set the Big Shot down, take my sandwich apart. There's that die. With my cup, my top, and my little paper lining. And then I'm going to take some of this, and I'm just going to do the paper lining probably right here. I shouldn't have moved the Big Shot yet. And I'm going to go ahead and put my sandwich back together. But I'm not going to make you watch me run this through again. I'm just going to run it through here on the floor and come right back. And I'll show you why I did that in just a little bit. Okay, anyway, there's my small corrugated piece. And I'm going to go ahead and put these back in because I don't have them on the magnetic sheet yet and I don't want them to get lost. So, to stamp these, we're going to use this sentiment right here. Life happens, coffee helps. And I have that mounted on a block, and I have it mounted on a C block. And I'm going to bring in my stamp pad because this is a photopolymer, and we're going to stamp this in early espresso. I'm going to ink this up. And I'm going to just kind of line it up right here. And don't rock, just straight up. I kind of rub and let it sit for the count of 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and that's not too bad. And we're gonna, got a little bit of ink on the bottom, but I can help mask some of that by putting a little banner across the bottom like this. And to do that, I just cut a sliver of paper, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of adhesive on the back, and I'll just lay it down where I got that ink. And it'll help hide that. Unless you smear it with the ink, with the glue, like I just did, but I'm not worried about that because I can get that off with the adhesive remover here in just a little bit. And I'm going to take an older pair of scissors. I'm going to kind of just scrape that off. And then I'm going to turn this over and cut. And turn it over and cut. And then that just gives a little band around the bottom of the cup so it's not quite so plain. Okay. Then I'm going to take some adhesive, some dimensionals, and I'm going to cut some little strips from the bottom. We have the mini dimensionals now, but I don't have those. I didn't, when I placed my order, I didn't even think about it, to be truthful. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this to the top right here and all the way across. Just like that. So I can add my coffee lid. And I'm just going to put that right like that. Okay, and then punch that down. And then you could take and you could add another strip right here if you wanted to do your coffee cup a little bit better. And I think I'll do that, but I think this time I'm going to use the adhesive, the snail adhesive, because I don't want to all mess with all that glue again. Okay, so then I'm just going to add that right here too. It's kind of like that, and then I'll trim that off too. The back here. Okay, there's our coffee cup, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals on that. And I'm not going to add to the top of the coffee cup because it kind of sticks up over the box itself. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that right down here to the bottom. And take out the backings from the dimensionals. A lot of the directions for this will be on my blog at mountainmisters.com. It'll have that PDF for the template for the cup holder, and it'll have some more written instructions and the measurements typed out there too. So there's that. On one of the dies there, and I'm not going to go ahead and cut that, I'll just show you what I did. But there is a little baby teeny coffee cup, and it's right here. Get it out. Little baby coffee cup. So cute. Isn't that cute? So what I did with this one is I went ahead and I cut that coffee cup twice. I cut it in the very vanilla, and then I cut it in the early espresso, and I cut the back, this part here off of the early espresso and glued it onto here. And then this piece that I had here that I did the corrugated cover again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and I'm going to snip some of that off straight as I can, which for me isn't very straight because I have trouble with that, but that doesn't look too bad. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add just a strip right here, and I'll see which end is a little matches a little better. Actually, I'm going to use this one. That way I have lines to cut by. So I'm going to, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll cut 5. I'm going to follow that line across. And then I'm going to line this up here. And I'm going to take this one, kind of straighten that up too. And then I'm just going to layer that across as a band for there too. And I'm going to add that right here. and I'll cut off the excess. And then I'm going to add some of our new glitter enamel dots. I'm going to add one to here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and add a green one because we're going to do some stamping in Old Olive. So we'll add one of those, and I think I'm going to add a medium-sized one. And I'll do one they go from, they vary in their color. And I'm going to do kind of like a medium one in there. And I'm going to stick that right there. And then I'm going to add a glue dot to dimensional to the back of that. Just going to add one. And I'm going to add that kind of right above here. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it would be cute to add another one right there. And I may do that after we finish this video, and if I do, I'll add a color to it. I'll add a picture of it. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get our Old Olive, and we are going to stamp on a piece of the very vanilla cardstock that we had as a scrap from before. And I have from Teeny Tiny Wishes, I'm going to use Just For You and Friend to Friend. This one. And I have those each mounted on a block. And we're just going to stamp them as straight as I can. I think I'm going to do it the long way. Perfect. And then I'm going to use this label punch, and I don't remember the correct name of it right now. I'll get it for you. I'm going to punch that, and then I'm going to stamp Just For You. Right up above that. Okay, I don't like the way that one came out, so we'll turn this and we'll stamp it right here. I don't like the way that came out. So we've got a couple more shots at this. Why am I crooked? Come this way just in case. I think it's the way the stamp curves, so I'm going to see if I can get it straight in the label punch, which I probably can. Okay. And then we're just going to do some more little strips of adhesive, and I'm going to take these right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see if that cut them through all the way. Okay, and then I'm going to stick those on the back here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're almost done with this. Thank you for your patience. I know this is going to be kind of a long video, and I may try and edit some of the parts out of it, but I may not even do that because of, if I make a mistake, I want you to see that I'm human too, and the steps that I take to remedy it sometimes. so then you won't get discouraged if you make a mistake and trash your project. And then we're going to put this right down here. And then the Just For You, we'll take the backings off. And we're going to add this one right here. And there's the project for today. Like I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and add another little cup here since we have friend to friend. I'll do another little cup. And then I'll take a picture of it and I'll add it at the end. In the meantime, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I will have a link with all the supplies that I used in this video in case you're interested in purchasing. And it'll take you directly to my online store. Thanks again for watching. Have a good day. And here are the 2 boxes that we have done. This one and this one. Thanks again. Bye.